Hello comrades, the Honey Badger here with another guide, this time with a seemingly simple one, but difficult if you're unaware how to use it properly. Your main problems with oil will be the fuel refinery, but to cover that, firstly we must understand how oil works. Therefore, in today's guide it's all about it. Let's see the topics. What research do I need to have? Building the pump jacks, ways of importing oil to supplement your internal supply. What can you expect from exporting oil? Before we go on the first topic, remember to hit that subscribe button, and whilst you're there might as well hit the like button too and leave a comment down below of what you think about this guide. Oil doesn't need any research to be built in your industry. But for a better experience, research the following: the geology faculty and the geological mapping. This will allow you to see the oil on the minimap, or else you're gonna be left as a hobo scanning for oil across your borders. As a total optional bonus, you can also research introduction to metallurgy, steel material fatigue study, pipeline pressure, and then the pipeline connections for both countries, and also the OPEC membership. This will allow to stabilize the oil export prices and also allow you to import more oil than from the customs house themselves. Please note that the foreign pipeline connections can be researched multiple times, each time unlocking a new pipeline. Firstly, with no research, you can just try the hobo cheesy way. Take your oil pump and just start scanning the map for oil. Wherever you're gonna find it, the color will change and it will tell you the quality of source. For example, I have oil over here and oil literally here. It's literally 200 meters from the border. So for example, this is a cheaty starting strategy where you can just pump down quite a few of these, just like this, and directly export them to the customs house with no issues. But we're going to go with the more realistic way. We have the resource viewing, the geological mapping enabled. We can check mark it and we can see around the map wherever the oil is. Let's go on this node, for example. Your target is to build the pump jacks efficiently. To be honest, there isn't a set in stone quality of source. The best is to cover as much, if not all, the resource that you have around here. What I like to do is start from a single corner, somewhere around here, and try to aim to 30% or more oil. Then come a bit more down, again 30% or more oil. Now, as you can see, I missed 1 or 2% oil over here. That's perfectly fine, it's not that much. Then come a bit more down. Make sure that the red corner is visible and place it down. Again, over here. And if I see like 10 or 12%, it's not that much oil, I can leave it as it is or be greedy and place another one. The best combination is to have either 3 pump jacks, 4 pump jacks, or 6 pump jacks. Everything less, or for example 1 or 2, is a waste of material. Why do I say this? Well, for 3 pump jacks, you can automatically connect them with 1 pumping station. And then this pumping station directly to a storage. With 4 pump jacks, it's also possible to connect the 4th one directly to the storage with absolutely no issue. However, when you're going into 5 or 6 pump jacks, you're going to need to do something different. Namely, you're going to get a liquid pumping station and place it so the two can connect. And then have a third liquid pumping station that connects the other two, and barely then you can connect it to the oil fuel storage. Hey, editor me here. You could have connected directly the pipes. You didn't need the third liquid transfer station over here. Sorry, I was too lazy to re-record. Now, how I've connected all of these is without roads. There are two types of liquid pipes. There's above ground and underground pipe connection. The underground pipe connection, when built in Realistical, you're going to need concrete, steel, mechanical components, boards, and gravel. That's quite expensive. Let's put it at 100 meters just to show exactly how much. Now, to take into consideration the above ground pipe connection of 100 meters, it only needs the steel and mechanical components. Also, the amount of steel is way lower. Then, let's do another one, this time very high up in the air. You're going to notice that for 100 meters, the same amount of 18 tons of steel and 2.3 mechanical components are needed. Therefore, there is absolutely no reason, unless fully necessary and you have no other option, to use underground piping. So, for example, let's over here stop being lazy and actually connect the roads to a single road system. Let's say it's coming from somewhere around here. Again, the road system that I'm building here is completely gibberish. It's not a efficient road system, and I don't care about it being efficient since we won't have any trucks playing around here unless there is a fire. Now, for the pumps, over here I can build it just close enough to the road and then start elevating it above the road and then coming back down. Similar thing over here. Come close to the road, elevate it, go over the road, and then go down. And that's how you save on resources to build this area. Moreover, if a fire happens around here, your city will be a long ways away. Therefore, I would also recommend to invest on researching the helicopter fire station, as that will help a lot with these. But again, if it goes up in flames, that is absolutely no problem, since they are extremely cheap to rebuild. The only expensive part over here is the oil fuel storage, as if this goes in flames and it's full, you're gonna waste more money than you already built it. The last thing you're gonna need are the loading and unloading connections. I recommend using the cheapest unloading station, as you won't have trains around here pulling the entire tank since you're not producing that much. So just a simple one should suffice with no problems. And in case you're having problems with trains, you can always build splitting lines here which have trains parked waiting to enter and continue loading. And of course, you're gonna have on the other side a line that exits the station. Also, make sure that the distance you have over here is the max distance of your train length. Similarly, over here, make sure that the amount of rail on the parking area is the max distance of the train you have. Moving on to the next topic. Your internal production of oil will most likely not be enough to satisfy your internal usage, so it's worth importing the oil. Moreover, the game empathizes on that. since oil loading via ships is quite fast compared to other resources. But before that, let me empathize on a rule you must follow to the teeth. Never ever mix your imported oil with your local oil. Let me explain why. Currently in the game, sadly there's no priority between the switches. So the liquid pumping station that goes out and spreads has a priority usage. You can set low, medium and high on the outputs. However, for the ones that converge into one, sadly, there is no priority over here. So whenever you're building an industry that uses oil, always try to have two separate tanks, one for import, one for local, and two train unloading stations, one of course for import, one of course for local. Afterwards, when you're going to merge them in the middle and pull them in your factory, you're going to use half of the local oil and half of the imported oil always. But we will go on to this topic once we reach the oil refinery guide, as this is the only place where this actually matters. For the rest of the things, the amount of oil needed for each individual plant is so low that you can import it directly from your local usage. The first way to import your oil is via the customs house. Sadly, this will have problems since you're going to block the customs house and you're not going to be able to use it for other trains. But it's a thing you can consider at the beginning. The second way and more efficient way is to load your train via the foreign pipeline connections. Simply put as many as you researched down and then connect them to an oil tank. Afterwards, directly send the train to the loading station. This way, you avoid the customs house from being overwhelmed. Moreover, yes, some of you in the comments will state that it's a good idea to start producing fuel directly at the border over here and abuse the foreign pipe connections. However, you're going to notice that this is not a great idea when I'm going to release the oil refinery guide. And the best way to import oil is via tanker ships. These behemoths can hold up to 25,000 tons of oil. I did quickly the math, and if you were to use the oil for this entire tanker ship, you would be maxing out the amount of oil needed for 3 full fuel refineries. Therefore, theoretically, in your entire republic, to handle all of the oil, you're just going to need 2 of these. As for profits, oil export is not worth doing via trucks, unless the oil node is very close to the border. Just like in this scenario over here. I am roughly 1 kilometer away from the border, and it still takes 4 trucks to manage to transport all of the oil from a single node. That's a bit way too much, whilst the double node over here can be transported by a single train with 2 wagons, and both of them generate a measly amount of profits. We are talking per month around 25 to 30k in oil, sometimes even less. Do I recommend delivering the oil to the border? Maybe. It's all situational. However, I'm a strong believer you should deliver it whilst you're setting up your fuel processing plants, just to get a small extra income to fund it. And that's all about the oil industry. Subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for the next guides, where we dive into more industries that use oil in an optimal way. Also, like the video and leave a comment down below on what you enjoyed in this guide. This will help the video reach more people like yourself. Until next time, I'm the Honey Badger and I'm out.